You're watching Day or Night X. X is for exotics, and this is Echo. He's a Blackfire Het Orange Ghost male that I picked up from the Reptile Ring auction. I've had this guy maybe 2 months now, and he sold in enough and just had a nice clean shed. So I wanted to finally update this guy. If you're a beginner, this is a black pastel fire combo. I named him after Echo, or Mr. Echo, from the TV show Lost, and all my ball pythons are named after movie characters or TV show characters. So this is Echo. And this is a photo of him from the Reptile Ring auction. And one of the reasons why I got this guy, the primary reason why I got this guy, outside of the fact that I'm a huge pastel fan, I'm an even bigger black pastel fan. Black pastel is one of my favorite morphs out there for ball pythons, and I love what the fire gene can do to any animal. And I have a spider female, which you'll see later in this video. And when I had the opportunity to get this guy, I started thinking about all the possibilities I could obtain with this guy breeding with most of the females in my collection. And I kind of started going over what he could produce with each one. And you're going to see later on in the video just a small sample size of what this guy could do to some of the morphs I already have in my collection as far as the females go. Because he's a black pastel combo, there is so much you can do with him, going with some of the darker projects that I want to do and some of the lighter, more pastel based, fire based projects that I wouldn't mind doing. So he has a very nice swing to him, a very nice arc of darkness, and being able to also produce very vivid color because of that fire gene. So he really can go with any animal in my collection, any ball python in my collection. He can go with her and produce something remarkable. Even with the hets, I mean, this guy can really go with every single female in my collection, and I can get something insane out of it. There's no downside to this combo. I mean, the Blackfire morph is a very simple one, but if you have it in the right collection, now he may not go with other people's collection, and that's one thing that I like about keeping these animals, is that everybody's collection is different, and sometimes just having that one difference maker makes all the difference in your collection. And we all know that anybody who owns ball pythons, if you have a big collection, you always land that one male or female where you just know, okay, that just filled in a huge gap. That was a missing piece in my collection. That was what's going to make this collection be what it is in the future as far as breeding goes. Now, I never think breeding first when I buy an animal, but you know, self-admittedly, I will admit that I did buy this guy primarily for breeding, but that's not the only reason why I bought him. Another reason why I bought him is because, like I said before, I'm a black pastel fan and I'm a fire nut, and he is just a beautiful looking animal. His colors are remarkable. You saw from outside what that sun could do to him, and even indoors, as you can see here, and again fresh out of a shed, you can see just how beautiful those colors are. Now granted, he will lose a ton of that color, most likely. I'm curious to see what he's gonna look like when he's a full-blown adult, because he is a little ways off from that. But as of now, the Blackfire morph, the way he looks, it's amazing looking. I was blown away just by the photo you saw earlier in the video, and he looks even more impressive in person. Luckily, outside, you got to see what you saw outside. That's exactly how he looks. There's no indoors here. I would say that his colors are quite muted. Now he's under a fluorescent light here, and this is a comparison to my to my fire spider female Ray and my Cinnabee Jackie Brown. These are two of his future girlfriends, but we're gonna get into just a little sample size of what this animal can do with just something simple like a fire spider. This is from World of Ball Pythons, and you see all the percentages there, all the possibilities, and that's just one morph. As we get into the other ones, you know, I put this guy with my banana spider, I can get something insane. If I put him with my pastel, just a straight up pastel, I get something insane. Put it with my Pastavi, my Mystic, my fire spider, like I said, my Cinnabee, on and on and on. There is so many possibilities in my collection for me to put him with to get interesting animals out of him. It's just a lot of good future projects, and I haven't even I'm not even done adding more ball pythons to my collection as far as what he can go with. It's just nice to have something like this where if I want something interesting, I know I can throw him in there and I'm going to get something interesting. And like I said, the cherry on top is the orange ghost het there. Him being a het orange ghost, that just adds to it. I mean, you're getting something extra on top of that. So this was pretty much a no-brainer for me. He fits in my collection extremely well. I used to own a black pastel pair, and I ended up selling the male to one of my good friends here in St. Louis. He was really wanting a black pastel, and I went ahead and sold him my male. And mainly I did that because the female was being assist fed and she was not putting on any weight at all, and I knew it was going to be years and years before that pair paid off. Really want to get the super black pastel out of that pair, and I just knew, well, it's okay, I can go ahead and just split this pair up right now and just revisit it later. I'll go ahead and get a male later on. And unfortunately the black pastel female I had, she ended up dying. She just could never keep enough food in her body and to sustain herself, and she ended up unfortunately passing away. So I was left without a black pastel in my collection, and after I had a black pastel pair, and I can't go without having that gene in my collection represented in some type of way. So having a black pastel back in my collection is awesome, but also adding on the fire with it plus a het orange ghost, it was pretty much a no-brainer for me in my collection, because a lot of my collection was built around the fact that I was going to eventually be using black pastel a lot in my collection as far as breeding goes, both on the male and female side. So right now just selling for him being a black pastel male is fine. A black fire male is fine. So it worked out in the end. I ended up getting something, in my opinion, that's better than that pair, and that's a black fire. He is a very laid-back snake. As you see in this video, he is a living definition of a ball python. When he doesn't want to be bothered, he balls up in a ball and hides its head, and that's pretty much what he does most of the day. This right here is about as much movement as I've ever seen from him. And that's only because I was trying to get this footage and handling him, and I'm still getting used to him, and he's a lot more comfortable with me now than it was when I first got him. But as you can see, he's an amazing guy. He hasn't eaten for me yet since I've gotten him, but he's been in shed, so I know he'll pick that up, no problem. He's a nice, healthy male, and I'm very happy and lucky to have gotten this guy in the reptile ring. He's a special snake.